he's saying these are some of the benefits of close communion with your guide. This can be a process, one that is initially just felt, feeling a presence, calling it in, and then being aware of what that presence feels like. So this is generally someone that you're already familiar with, their presence, because we're already in discourse with them. We just don't always realize it. What if my guide has left me? What if they are not available to me? And he's saying this is never the case. There is always multiple guides who are with you and holding and supporting you during your journey on the earth plane. You can liken it to a newborn baby, one that has a lot of care and is nurtured through the process. This is necessary because you are children from alternate realities and planets, and your well-being on Earth is being monitored and cared for. Earth being quite a treacherous place to play upon, that is due to... Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Michelle Robinson. I'm a psychic medium. I'm an intuitive mentor, and I'm a channel to benevolent beings, any who wish to come through and talk through me. So we get a mixed bag of all sorts. We've had Federation Council, we've had Yeshua standing, coming forth and talking a little bit more often, and we've also had Horus, 12th dimensional. He's a reptilian, but he's a warrior of the light, and he's known as Horus, who's depicted as the Egyptian falcon. And so, yeah, I never know what's going to happen. Sometimes I get the call up to channel. I haven't in this instance, but let's just close my eyes, do my thing, see who wants to come through. And for those of you that are new here, I basically follow along. I use my clairvoyance and my clairaudience, so channel and listen to what they're saying, and then sometimes the words stop and they'll just show me a series of images. I'm actually hearing Sai Baba Shirdi, and I'm seeing him in my mind's eye, which is interesting. He's just, I'm just seeing that presence. I think, just thinking, I don't think I've brought him through in channeling. I think I've done a private channeling with him where he gave me some information. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be channeling him, but I'm just seeing him sitting there looking very peaceful, very benevolent. He's got very beautiful, soft eyes. Maybe he's just giving me support. He's kind of sitting behind me, hands on my shoulder. I'm just in my mind's eye, turning around and facing him, and he's placing his hands over the top of mine. And he's just giving me a transmission of peace. He's transmitting energy through my body at this moment while I'm talking to you. He's saying it's necessary, that I've become depleted, that I have overworked, and I am in a state of discomfort. And so he's just trying to help build up my energy. So he's been sitting with me. He's trying to mind my balance and my mentality while I do this work, bringing me into a place where I'm not trying to cater to many other people and minding my own needs and requirements. This vessel being pulled in many different directions a lot of the time, and her energy becoming very scattered and very fatigued. Oh, I am channeling him. How exciting. This is the first time I've publicly channeled him. He's saying greetings, and he bows down to all of you upon this channel. He's been watching me from afar and gauging my progress, me butting my head against a wall quite often, wanting to keep pushing through and not listening to my needs and requirements. Okay, so I'm feeling my feet right now, so I think he wants me to share with you that my feet feel really heavy, not like they're my own, and I've got nerve pain throughout them. My bottom is burning as well, and the bottom of my back. So he's saying that I am not maybe taking the time to rest that I need to at this time. And he's saying it is, I can feel his energy with me, and it's really holding me, but it has affected the quality of my discourse, so that that I'm a bit fatigued. So basically he's saying I need to rest. I did want to get this channeling out for those of you that listen in on a Saturday or Saturday, Sunday over the weekend. So I made a choice to do the channeling rather than have a rest. So I will take a rest after this. I'm seeing green light washing behind my eyes. So he's saying that healing is required. So what I'm to share with you is this is one of the delights that your spirit guide can bring forth and share with you. Those little nudges that tell you now is the time to rest and now is the time for activation and energetic activity. He's saying this one not listening. So this was something that I say previous guide, but I feel he's still with me, the Confucius energy. So I saw him for about 5 minutes this morning, just briefly, because I was tired. So we stepped forward and I ended up in tears. Just it was so good to see him. Don't even know if I can talk about it. Oh. And I just realised how much I miss him. He's saying that my life has not been felt complete without him in it. And that's true. It's like a relative that is always with you by your side that has suddenly gone missing. So like a missing person is how I say it. But what he's saying is this has given him the opportunity, along with Yeshua, to walk alongside me a little more. So he's saying that with your spirit guides, it's not that they disappear from sight. It's that they stand with you and make themselves a little bit less available to you in a way that's so conspicuous. This one becoming very reliant on that discourse, and so her energy would go to her guide often, and it was actually creating a situation, he's saying a funneling that wasn't allowing maybe my blinkers to see who else was sitting there wishing to confer with me. So there are many guides that can walk with you during different phases of your life, and I'm very privileged to have Sai Baba who stepped forward and asked me if he can work with me, and he did it in such a beautiful, humble way. I didn't know who he was. I just saw his kindness in his face and his gentleness. He has such a beautiful energy. He's saying that he has healed many when he was alive and now still so after his passing, and this is the energy that he's passing on through my hands. So it's like my hands are like this, and then his hands are on the outside of mine, just filling them up with lots of energy. Okay, he wants me to tell the story. I thought that last night I was receiving my upgrade. So I actually, for the first time ever, had to end a reading. I was just too fatigued, and I went and lay down on the couch, and I was feeling really uncomfortable. When I went to bed later that night, as soon as I basically put my head down, I had an angelic there, and I know when that happens just to go with them. So I went with this angelic and we went to, I call it the cloud, or the place where I meet the angelics. It's like creating a meeting place, so you know where you are and you know what's happening. And so then I stepped forward, and I don't know how I knew, but I just knew to sit down or to kneel down. And I found myself kneeling down in the prayer position, which is interesting because I was never not a person that prays, although I had that, I guess I converse, so I see that as the same thing. And then I just felt through the crown of my head, it just felt like warm honey, but like runny honey, just pouring through the crown of my head, down into my body, my heart, and down. I felt it really strongly into my torso. And it just gave me amazing relief through my body, but it felt beautiful in the heart. And then I fell asleep quite easily because I felt really blissful. So what he's telling me is I've actually said that I've received my upgrade, and he's saying that's not quite the case. In this instance, I will notice that. I'm just seeing the green behind my eyes again. That was actually a healing that I received, and it allowed all of that nerve pain to step back. It had a very soothing effect on my energy fields. The reason this was necessary is because I am doing so much work on behalf of the angelics, and there's also, okay, let's face it, you guys heard that YouTube episode. I was kind of given the push forward, and so unbeknownst to them, push forward I did, but on a galloping horse, and got some of that work done. So I could have approached that in a more measured way, and now I'm reaping the consequences. Oh my God, I just feel like I can't win at the moment, but so I need to listen to my body, stay in tune with my body a little bit more. But anyway, wow, wonderful. So I received a healing, but I'm still quite uncomfortable today once I'm sitting back in my chair. Okay, planetarily, he's saying that this is also a time, or the alignments are suggesting that it's a time for rest currently as well. So keeping an eye on the moon's almanac, like the moon's calendar, so that you know now is a really good time for energetic output. Now is a really good time to step back a little bit. Now is not a good time for decisions. Now is a good time for decision making. This is something that your guide can also assist you with. That nudge, now is the time for action. Take a leap of faith, step forward. You will float free. This is a very good move for you. Almost like if you can step off the cliff, you'll soar like an eagle. Things will be fine. This will be a smooth transition. These are the kind of messages that you can get. All right. So I've just completed this course on automatic writing. So what he's saying is automatic writing is a really good way to have this discourse, beginning that communication with your guide, learning to trust what it is you're writing, wondering, am I making this up? What a great imagination I have. I didn't know that word. I'm just hearing a particular word, tarry, but maybe that's the clue that I am communicating with something outside of myself. Actually, that's interesting because I think that was one of my first clues, actually. I got a lot of words and I'm like, what does that mean? Does that even fit in the sentence? Gosh, I am clever. What a clever word. And I got information. I've got one channeling that I probably love more than all the rest, and it's about your body as an exoskeleton. So, you know, your meat suit, a lot of people call it, as an exoskeleton, and how that was a progression that was worked off through many iterations until it is this beautiful functioning unit that it is now, and that we need to appreciate it more because of the work that it's doing for us. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I seem to be doing that more and more, taking over. Sorry. Okay, he's still there on my shoulder. He's saying that I often have the gift of the gab once you get me going. Although she's telling you guys, she also likes her moment of solitude, that where you can poke and prod her and cover her with compliments, but she will not shift her focus from rest and relaxation, not enough to open up and have a conversation. Okay, yes, I'm on and then I'm off, especially after 7:30 in the evening. So those that she is very fond and close to, almost having an automatic rifle. Ah, yes, that's true. So he's obviously got to know me quite well. He's enjoyed getting to know this one, all of her setbacks, those moments where she questions herself. Oh, he's just saying a very humble soul, one who will put the needs of others before her own, one who strives very hard for outcomes. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. So he's saying that it becomes a very intimate relationship, one of like a close mentor and a student. So he's been guiding me. This is what he's saying. This is going to be interesting. Guiding me as to some of my writing, he's saying. And some, maybe lessening some complexity in my life. He's saying I have a tendency to respond, so overly respond, feel that I have to respond to others when they reach out to me, and doing so in a very timely manner. And this is something which he has tried to, he's saying, cut off at the knees, that need to facilitate the wants and needs of others, even when I've got things going on that I need to focus on. He's saying to be successful, to have a better productivity and outcome, and to lessen my time sitting upon my butt, which does get quite uncomfortable. So this is also what your guide can do for you. They remind you of who you are. Those moments where you think, gosh, I'm so sick of sitting around listening to, I don't know, my team's meeting. It is time for action. Perhaps I could just sneak a run. So this is like your guide. Sometimes they can present you with an image and you think, what a great idea, I'm going to go for a run, not knowing that that has been presented to you from your guide, who's trying to remind you of who you are. You are a physical being, one that loves the great outdoors, and I can feel your energy waning, being constantly involved in these teams meetings. Okay, I'm also seeing that when I've had some bad moments, usually it's when my nerve issue flares up and I've been trying to go for walks, and I have been shown scrambled eggs on toast before, and I just thought, oh, what a great idea, I'm going to have scrambled eggs on toast. I'll go and have a coffee and some breakfast. And it was actually a really nice uplifting thing to do. And when I thought about it afterwards, I was like, wait a minute, how did I get that idea? And it was an image, so it was actually my guide presenting me with something which they knew would be uplifting for me at that time. So he's saying garnering, and I'm saying take the time to strengthen that relationship with your guide. It can be very rewarding and save you a lot of, and I'm seeing like looping around, maybe in indecision or second guessing yourself or wondering, is this a good idea? Then you can throw yourself out of that looping, almost as if you're handing over the decision and then just actioning it. I'm just going to see if he can give an example. Okay, he's giving a very funny example. I'm hearing Caulfield Cup. Oh, backing a winner. So that nudge. Oh, I just feel number one's got the colours that are shining so brightly for me today. And where does that come from? Well, there you go. I'm not, really? That's the example? Caulfield Cup is a horse race, a betting horse race. So, interesting example. Down in Melbourne. He's laughing. But he's saying this is how your spirit guide can also lead you to your abundance, your pile of coins, I'm seeing, by giving you the nudge in the right direction. Are you going to back the wrong horse? Are you going to race on a wet and boggy field? Do you pick your moment? When is the horse ready? Okay, there must be some betting people on the channel today. Oh, it's a good analogy. And also, when do we rest the horse? When does the horse go back to the stall and roll in the sawdust? And how do we prepare it for a win? Okay, so I think in this case we are the horses, and we're also the betters, knowing what to bet on, where to put our money, when to make a move, etc. Very good analogy, actually. Okay, so he's saying these are some of the benefits of close communion with your guide. This can be a process, one that is initially just felt, feeling a presence, calling it in, allowing it to maybe feeling like asking it to touch your cheek. Actually, I'm just going to ask him now, see if I can feel it. Oh, I just felt it. Just lightly on my cheek. It's unmistakable. And then being aware of what that presence feels like. So this is generally someone that you're already familiar with, their presence. I know when I met my guide, I've been talking to my guide for a very long time, but I only actually, I was going to say physically saw, but it wasn't really physically, saw my guide and sat down with him, looking at exactly what he looked like and finding out his name. Wasn't that long ago, maybe 5 years ago. But he was already familiar to me because we're already in discourse with them. We just don't always realise it. Okay, he's saying to me, what if my guide has left me? What if they are not available to me? And he's saying this is never the case. there is always multiple guides who are with you and holding and supporting you during your journey on the earth plane. You can liken it to a newborn baby, one that has a lot of care and is nurtured through the process. This is necessary because you are children from alternate realities and planets, and your well-being on Earth is being monitored and cared for. Earth being quite a treacherous place to play upon, that is due to having free will. Okay, so free will on the earth is where you get to make all of the decisions for yourself. How do I interact with others? Which steps am I going to take? Perhaps I want to, I'm hearing like end someone's life, but I heard a different word, murder. This person. Perhaps I want to try an illegal substance. These are all choices that you make every step of the way. Generally, once you've played out a pattern a few times upon the earth, and I think I've explained this before, so we all undergo a spiral. And as we ascend on that spiral and we learn more and more and more, we start making better choices, understanding that there's often consequences for our behavior. Our soul holds on to those lessons, so it learns aspects in each lifetime and then comes again to learn something new. And through this process, you must be held. So this is where we don't understand, and so we must stumble along the way. What did they say to me the other day? We watch you floundering. So, yeah. And flounder you must do, because floundering is how you get to the other side, how you climb up the dry bank, and how you wash yourself off and feel proud and pleased with how you managed to extract yourself from, I'm hearing foibles and follies, so from some of the, maybe the things that we worry about, or the things that, or behaviors that we have that actually aren't serving us very well. Very interesting. We're getting so many spiritual lessons, which I love, because I love the way that they give the information. Okay, spirit guides also coming in many forms. So oftentimes the majority of you are associated with an animal as well. So I'm actually seeing a cheetah. This having aspects which you can display in your own personality. There may be an animal that you're drawn to or that you see, and I'm seeing a skunk, and we don't have skunks here, so those of you, maybe America, that have skunks, and I'm seeing a porcupine, and I'm seeing an echidna, so perhaps you don't have echidnas, but it's like a porcupine. So these may be some aspects which give you maybe windows into your own personality. So perhaps when you see a porcupine or you see an echidna, understanding what it is about their nature. So the porcupine having a rather prickly exterior, but being very soft and cuddly on the inside. So where are you being overly protective? Where are you perhaps being a little bit short with other people? Or that of the echidna, being able to burrow down to find those little morsels, those ants, being very interesting in its nature, quite quirky, you might say. So having a look at the aspects of animals that maybe cross your path, and then embodying or understanding the energy of them and what that's either trying to tell you. Okay, signs. This is signs from spirit. Also watching for those synchronicities. So those times where you're thinking, I'd really like to undertake this course. And then you see, let's just say my automatic writing course. And then you see the words automatic transmission. And again, it will register that thought again in your mind. So it's like presenting you with little opportunities, little seeds which you can pick along the way to lead you to the right destination. So don't think that you are off on a discourse, that you are going the wrong way, that your sign is telling you to go left instead of right, because you are generally held in a line to meet your soul's requirements, that which you said, okay, this is the things I would like to learn while I'm here. So I see you guys later. I'm off to reincarnate on Earth, and I will see you in a jiffy. Okay, that's interesting, because seeing you in a jiffy, I get the indication that our lifetimes here, although we think they are long, is maybe not much time in the plane that we've come from. So it might be just like, well, Joey's off to school today. He's off to do his lesson at Earth and, being picked up after school, after kindergarten, and that could be a lifetime on Earth. I mean, we really don't know. He's saying that I have grasped that concept well. It is actually very similar to this, but also understanding that this is a difficult one to explain because all occurring all at once, this ball thing that I've seen before, everything's kind of occurring all at once, not on that linear time frame. So we are here, we are there. There are aspects of us playing out in many different realities at the same time. Fragmented, you may say, but still with a line of connection to the whole, the collective. Again, he's saying it's a hard concept to explain. Let's see if he can try. So what I'm seeing is like a big kind of blob, oh, purple behind my eyes, big blob of energy, a mass, he's saying mass of energy. And there are like little droplets that come down from this and enter into maybe different realities. So like that droplet still has a stream or a line to that mass. So that mass consciousness. So this is where perhaps we are all one. Still very confusing in some ways, because if we're from somewhere, then we're still individual. And what he's saying is that is another droplet of the whole. I don't quite get it. Let's see if he's got another way of explaining it. Okay, so I'm seeing a tap of water that's running. And that tap is made up of many different drops of water that makes the whole. And so this is how we are. Many drops that make the whole. Okay, I'm just going to maybe, unless I can find a different way. And but now I'm seeing an actual stream with water meandering down and a few rocks in the way. So, okay. So there are obstacles which are often put upon our path. These are established by ourselves before we come. So this would be a good way to learn, and this would be a great time to have a turning point. So this may help with some of this. This may help. And so what I'm seeing about a stream as it's going past rocks is that it actually just goes around that rock and keeps on going. And so this is the way to handle those, to recognize and shift course. So where we stay very stuck in our ways and not shifting and changing is where, I don't know how a stream can butt heads against a rock, but where that scenario can occur. And so what that's doing is just creating maybe a little bit more time before we are on that straight and narrow path of our soul path. Invariably, he's saying the majority of us are not going wrong. We are exactly where we need to be at any given moment, knowing that we have provided ourselves with lessons to overcome. And so as we are learning them, not thinking, wow, I'm really not doing a great job here, I'm so off track, but actually understanding that you've overcome that, you've learnt that lesson, your soul will integrate that, and that is not one that you should have to repeat. You now have the understanding of the way to navigate around that rock, with that issue. Okay. Very interesting. He's saying sometimes there can be some rapids where things can be a bit tumultuous and a bit chaotic. And this is where being able to contain your energy in a place of calm can help with that white water. I kept hearing white water before, so now I've put that together, like that whitewash, very tumultuous, almost like in a bath. So now we've got the tap going into the bath, and where the tap water's hitting that bath, it's noisy and chaotic. And so maintaining our sense of peace and calm being the best way to listen to our inner guidance when things that are external become very noisy. And so that is why we're being encouraged inward to listen to our inner guidance, to listen for the voice and direction and language of our guide. establishing a relationship, be that beginning with automatic writing or through meditation. And I've actually got meditation in the automatic writing course, so you can combine them. So I just lost track there. Or meditation, so that if things become noisy externally, oh, there's an incident in Afghanistan, oh my gosh, we're back to the Crimean War, whatever it is that's happening externally. I'm hearing Indonesia, and I'm hearing tsunami, so maybe some damaging waves. Okay, that just came suddenly. Then we can set that aside and stay very calm. So what he's just said now is that in times that going forward, myself being able to remain in a calm state of relaxation during hurricane-type storms. Okay, that's great, because I really don't like them at the moment. I've just had been kind of at tail ends of cyclones, and when the winds are like, whoosh, it's very like disturbing. This is where she will be able to maintain her sense of peace, and this is something that we're all working towards. Okay, I'm seeing more green behind my eyes. So there can be some emotional blocks to connecting with your guide, and some of these can be feeling of unworthy. I'm not worthy enough. My guide has forsaken me. I don't have a guide. So he's saying to A-L-L, whatever, why your fears. So to make you feel better about that, he's saying this is not the case. You must dismiss those notions. You are absolutely worthy and beautiful and ultimately a connected being. But this might be something that's occurred in your life up to that stage, a time where you said, I'm not worthy. This may have been a moment where your mother was distracted, maybe with a bigger issue, and wasn't listening to what you said. And unwittingly, you've said to yourself, I am not worthy. I do not have a voice. I'm not worth listening to. So there are things that we take on board through our lives that are not necessarily truths. So trying to unearth some of these negative self-talk that we have said to ourselves, the things that we've absorbed. Maybe we had an abusive partner and we say, I deserve that. I am not worthy. I am not pretty enough. I am not good enough. But actually that was a control situation where the partner was chipping away at your foundations to maintain control. So understanding and unraveling dynamics being part of the healing process. So this is just about the benefits of guides. I'm still feeling the energy that he transmitted through my hands. He's done that right from the beginning. One of the very first things he did was place his hands over mine. It just makes me feel so calm. Okay, he says that I have anxieties and he said, we need you to remain calm, to receive, particularly in times going forward where I'll have more of a platform, because I get anxious and nervous that he's saying, I'm humble, that I don't have the right words to impart. What do I know? How do I know about these things? I haven't had a spiritual background. I've just been getting on about my business, and suddenly I'm talking on YouTube. That does not make me the expert. It's true. I haven't studied any religions. I didn't know who Sai Baba Shirdi was, so he's saying this. He's saying this is one of the beautiful things, watching this flower open and the petals unfold, her being very unaware but so connected that she has connection into these truths naturally. So not feeling that you have to be part of a Qigong something or other group, or a meditation group, or a chanting group, or that you are well read to be a spiritual person. This is just a natural state of being, connectedness. not forgetting that your soul also carries knowledge within it, that from all of those lifetimes past. It's going to be interesting because this will be about me, and I'd like to know this vessel having many lifetimes, that residing in ancient China as a, well, I'm hearing as a seer, but I think ancient China, I'm seeing that I'm seeing me at more like a pulpit giving lots of information. So I'm seeing Confucius. So I was either a student of his or a mate. He's saying a mate, like a brother in arms. So this is why he's been my guide. So we made a pact. He knows who I am. So this is my guide, Confucius. So I have been in that lifetime with him. Oh, I was been a prophet of old, and also a prior student of his when he walked the earth. So I have had many wise lifetimes, that of spirituality and being maybe a orator as well. I'm seeing that Chinese lifetime, so maybe that's why I've kind of stepped into being coerced into this role. He says this is part of my soul's natural state, and there is more to come. So I will be on platforms, touring. Okay, well, I hope some of you come to see me if that's the case. And so, again, just saying, her being of humble nature and thinking, yeah, we'll see, this happening rather sooner than she thinks. March 2027. Okay, we'll see. I thought this was going to be predictions today. He's saying that this is predictions in a form. This is the prediction of the soul's journey. She will open a school. Oh my God, I just can't even get past the soreness in my butt, even thinking about that right now. The school will be, he's saying, magnificent, and there are many, Confucius and himself included, that will be here assisting me on this path, on this journey, to help support students that will walk through the doors, even if it'll be an online service. Okay, he's saying that I will try to touch as many people as possible, and to do this I will undertake a rigorous travelling agenda as well, that which is imparting my words from Spirit upon others' ears. This is so that they can find their peace, their happiness, and their connection, this being the ultimate goal. We are moving into a different reality, one where spirituality, intuition, and the like is becoming much more commonplace. As you are integrating higher energies and vibration and undergoing these upgrades, you are rising in vibration and will have connection into these matters more readily, and therefore will require some assistance and guidance. And this is what they're here for. And so I'm basically being a channel for this information to assist you. He's got his hands like this now. I feel like he's going to take his leave. He's saying that okay, someone, I think he's saying like he has had discourse through this one, so none can say that he does not have discourse through a channel such as this. In this instance, he has blessed you with his presence. Perhaps you can feel the vibration of this, and because I can feel it in my body. And he blesses you all. I'm seeing marigolds. And he bows his head down to you. He asks you to remain open, to carry out a discourse with your guide. Oof, his energy is so powerful. I'm seeing him like just bowing in front of me, his head. His eyes are brown and just so peaceful. I just feel like I'd like to just touch his cheek. He is saying, and such is the power of the relationship with the guide, and so do not underestimate it, do not underplay it. It can be very, very rewarding and uplifting. And he, once again, is bowing his head in blessing. He's asking you to maybe research some of his teachings, that which I'm hearing equality for all, including majority of religions. And he leads you now. Oh, I can feel the energy going backwards. Wow. His energy. Woof. Okay, he has never come through for channeling before. And I said to someone, oh no, I don't think he'll do that. I think he said he wouldn't do that. But he did do a private channeling for me. Guys, I think you should feel very, very blessed. I do. He's just given us a whole lot of information about spirit guides. Although I don't understand all of it fully, the concept, like the maths thing, because I've been introduced to myself outside of being on Earth, and that's a being or a presence. So I don't know. Anyway, I won't try and decipher it. I'm sure it'll become clear at some stage. Wow, really interesting. Love that one. I always forget to say, if you're enjoying this and you think someone else will benefit from hearing any of this, please feel free to like, subscribe. I have the YouTube membership where all the juicy stuff ends up going. I don't choose that. My guides choose it. The Angelics, whoever. So, yeah, they give us some good information. The next members up on Tuesday has got some real insights into Japan and information that's been given before around that. So, so that might be a good one to tap into. Marketing myself this time. I'm doing a good job. Anyway, thank you for joining me and being here today. I am going to just love having a rest and enjoying that. I got to actually talk in depth to Sai Baba and listen to some of his teachings. And I'll see you in the next episode.